Welcome back to another video, everyone. I've got another special guest joining me on this one. Last round, we brought in Future Gohan SSJ2 to talk about the Toonami revival of Samurai Jack. This time, it's going to be, well, another breaking news announcement. I've got with me DannyDsWorld to talk about the brand new Batman v Superman trailer. First and foremost, Danny, of course, is no stranger to this channel. We've done tons of videos in the past, full disclosure. And we've been very critical of the, I don't even know what you can call it, bro, the DC Cinematic Universe, the DC Extended Universe, the Multiverse. Do they have a concrete name for this, or am I just...
Uh, no, the so far as I know, there isn't one. I mean, I've heard people refer to the cinematic universe since the movies are separate. I know that the fanboys like to call it the DC expanded universe because the TV shows and everything, but it's like expanded universe implies things expanded beyond something else, and yet they're completely unrelated. So I don't know why that took off. Then there's the DCTVU, which is self-explanatory. I don't keep up with them
It's kind of
anymore.
getting pretty ridiculous. They've got like 16 different universes that don't cross over. But anyway, we're not here to talk about semantics. We're here to talk about the new Batman v Superman trailer. Like I said in the past, we've done videos discussing Man of Steel, what we wanted to see in the future. And we weren't too particularly pleased with the debut trailer earlier this year for Batman v Superman. We were very critical of it. We had a couple of things that were rubbing us the wrong way. You know, again, if you guys are subscribed to the channel, you already know what our, common complaints were. But we got a lot of flack from, I don't even want to say DC fans because fans implies that people are level-headed. A lot of the DC fanboys saying that we didn't know what we were talking about. We were just, speculating off of the rumor mill. We were just trying to downvote this movie because we were Marvel fanboys. You get that all the time if you don't agree with them. And that's what was kind of weird. Like, I can understand not liking a movie because you're in a different camp, number one. But if you're stating factual, critical evidence, things that you are citing and backing up from the director, from the writer, from the people involved in the movie, it kind of goes beyond just being a fanboy. But as times gone on, we've gotten more trailers for Batman v Superman. One thing that it's gonna kind of sound messed up to say, but I think you agree with me. Do you sort of feel vindicated, Danny?
Oh my good lord. Okay. Vindicated does not even begin to cover how I feel right now. It for so long, I there have been things that I had said were bothering me. And at first they were small and they were kind of presumptive, and I wasn't 100% sure they were there, but there were signs that they could be. And the fact that they could go that route bothered me. And then there was leaks happened that said what was supposedly going to happen in the movie. And at first, just like everybody else, I said, if there's no real source, then, it's just more BS. But then things were revealed when they did the full trailer that kind of hinted that they might be true, and and I mean pretty strongly hinted they might be true. I mean, this was stuff that was like very specific and detailed in the leak, and I began to get very worried, and I said they're going to do this. It really looks like they're going to do this, and the entire time I said that, I was called so many names. I was called a Marvel fanboy, and I just didn't want this movie to be good because I didn't want it to compete with Marvel. And frankly, anyone who knows me knows that I've had my own gripes with Marvel movies too.
We still do have to
I
get
mean,
that Marvel podcast out. I
yeah,
will give them
yeah,
that. We haven't
I
gotten that video out yet.
yeah, but I mean, I honestly I like Man of Steel more than I like some Marvel movies.
Without a
So
doubt,
no,
yeah.
I am not a fanboy, but I was called a hater, a fanboy. There was no way they would ever do this. I was full of it, and now has come out and has shown that they are indeed doing that, as well as going back on a few things they used to jab at Marvel for.
It's just I want to feel like just rubbing it in, but at the same time, I don't know if I'd get anything out of that.
Oh, I don't like. I don't like being right. I honestly don't. I would have loved to have been proven completely wrong, and this movie turned out to be completely
Of
amazing.
course.
Part of me realistically knows that that probably wouldn't happen though, just because whether DC wants to admit it or not, they are rushing this to compete with Marvel, and it's like, okay, you know what? If the movie had at least turned out to be entertaining, and then they kind of took their time building up, that might have made sense. But the fact that they're rushing out so many solo films at once and planning to just tie it together with cameos from the new main three, and then they say Justice League is going to be split into two movies, but then each movie is going to be its own story, so it's literally just a Justice League movie and a sequel to the Justice League movie.
Yeah, we might as well talk
Uh,
about that for a little bit. There were a couple of updates regarding the DC extended universe when it came to characters being introduced and crossed over, and Batman v Superman has gotten a lot more in the cameo department. So not only obviously Batman's going to be in it, Wonder Man is Wonder Man an actual character?
I don't know, but you know what? In the name of equality, he should
Yeah,
be.
it is 2015. Why isn't there a Wonder Man if there's a Wonder Woman? I think that we should stop
Well, why are
this.
we assuming that? Why are we assuming Diana identifies as a woman
Maybe
anyway?
she identifies as a male. You guys just need to get your.
Maybe she's gender fluid. It could depend on the day. We don't know. Stop
Yeah,
judging.
it's very offensive. You and your structural oppression of the patriarchy. Gosh, stop this. But you know, it's oh my god, we completely derailed the entire video.
All right. Well, to get back on topic, yeah, they did a lot of updates and everything, and that kind of did show that they are more interested in rushing to compete than they are building up a proper film universe, which is depressing. But I would have loved to have been wrong about that. But unfortunately, it indeed looks like we were not wrong.
It's pretty obvious with the direction of the movie. You can pretty much tell how this movie is going to unfold. If the fact that every single rumor from the original script has made it into the film, that should be a pretty
Hmm.
telltale sign. I mean, bringing Zod's Corp into the mix. I
Yeah,
remember that was like one of the first leaks, right?
yeah. That by the way is getting finally to the meat of what this is supposed to be about.
20 minutes later, we got to an actual trailer discussion.
Yeah, yeah. And that's well, the original. Well, even not even the original leaks, even, but the reports and everything of how Luthor was supposed to be. They said that he was going to be like someone really high energy and zippy and
Like
kind of
crushing back energy drinks, I think that was the term, right?
jittery, and he does. He looks like he's on looks like he took speed or meth or something. He's just he's really stringy and scrawny. He's got oh god, some nasty stringy looking hair. He's got this really high. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg already has a naturally softer and higher pitched voice, and yet he's actually exaggerated it for this movie. I mean, this is some campy stuff almost, and he's talking really fast while he does it too, and always jittery, and always got to touch someone or something when he's talking,
Did
and
you notice kind of a contrast from the first trailer? No, I guess the first or the second trailer. I forgot which one. Where they tried to make it all, dark Sith Lord like, do you know the oldest lie in America, Senator? Devils don't come from hell above, they come from the sky. Or whatever that quote was.
from hell
Hell
below they
below,
come
they
from
come from the
sky
sky.
above.
Thank you. Hell above, sky. I confused that. I ruined it. And then in this one, he's just like all over the place, and even some of the lines he had in the first trailer are different here. Like, I mean, come on, guys. This is verifiably not Lex Luthor. I mean, every incarnation of Lex Luthor you've seen. Does anybody do this?
No,
I mean, going back to the beginning, going back to
I
Smallville,
mean,
like the new adventures of Superman. Like, come on.
going back to Gene Hackman. I mean, Gene Hackman had a pretty campy performance as Lex Luthor. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie,
yeah, of course.
but I mean, even he wasn't like this bad. He was still someone you could kind of take seriously, somewhat. I mean, most of the comedy that radiated from the guy too came from the fact that while he was somewhat competent, all the people around him were idiots.
Yeah.
And I mean that was kind of one of the jokes too. I'm certain I could be great, but I'm surrounded by morons.
He was like,
But
he was Scar before Scar.
yeah, but uh,
I'm surrounded by idiots.
it's actually that's actually not a bad analogy there. But but yeah, this is just I don't even know what to call this. I mean, he is just spazzy as all heck. They actually give away part of his motivation in the trailer too. That's another thing that I did not like about this trailer. It really feels like they gave away half the plot of the movie here, which is something that DC trailers used to be very good at avoiding.
Right. Yeah, if you compare it to like some of the stuff that you saw with like The Dark Knight and Man of Steel, I mean, it's kind of like no comparison with what's going on here.
Oh, I know. I mean, they gave it away. They gave away basically why they're fighting, which is a problem in and of itself that I want to get to. But they gave away why they're fighting. They gave away why Luthor wants them to fight. And there he kind of gets into villain territory, but again, it's kind of an extreme leap and doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. And then they get into what he does when his little thing falls apart, and that's where things get really ugly. But getting back to again the meat of the trailer, Bruce Wayne and his conversation with Clark Kent when they first meet. There is how do I put
It's
this?
pretentious.
Way Well, it's pretentious. Some of the dialogue is bad, but it's just there's way too much unnatural animosity between the two. Like they're trying to establish some sort of pre-existing tension that the audience wouldn't be familiar with.
That's what a lot of
I
people
mean,
have like
I
started
mean,
to
I get
pinpoint
that
on.
he doesn't like Superman. I mean, I get that, and despite the reason being pretty convoluted, I get why he doesn't like and trust Superman. I do. I don't see how because he's supposed to be the world's greatest detective, and one would think that basic deductive reasoning would determine that hey, this guy has these ungodly superpowers, and at the same time, while he could, do this and that to our planet and to us and to enslave us and yada yada, he has chosen not to and is only helping people. Perhaps he's not a bad guy and I shouldn't be doing this. But no, he just doesn't trust him, and so it is, yeah, convoluted, okay, but it is what it is. He doesn't trust him. But the way he's just so unnaturally cold to Mr. Kent, even though he can't possibly know that that's Superman yet. Um,
Who knows? They might have gone the angle that they might have pulled an eyes and be like, "This is all part of my plan. I knew you." Like he could probably be that much of a world's greatest detective. They probably just umped it to the highest degree, bro.
oh, that I'd buy that, except for the fact that again there should be no way that he can't. I mean, he's supposed to be blinded by rage here too. That's the thing. He's mad. He's mad at himself. He's mad at Superman. But see, that's the other thing. One of his stated reasons for not liking Superman is he doesn't like, in his own words, freaks who go around dressed as clowns. And of course, they cut to the Jason Todd suit with the Joker's spray paint on it, and that I think is kind of weird too, because I mean, the Robin suit kind of looks like armor again, but whatever. Um, I mean, it's like solid, not cloth. But hey, but yeah, but it's like, is this Bruce Wayne or is this J. Jonah Jameson here? I mean, seriously, it's getting to where it's like I just don't like these freaks running around in tights. I mean, and then you got Superman being uh, they did finally in this trailer stop trying to make him look like an evil douchebag. I will give them that.
Yeah.
And they actually gave him credit where credit was due, which is probably more credit than the fanboys would give him, where he actually does tell Bruce at one point, "Stop fighting. If I had wanted you dead, I would have killed you already, and you know it."
Right.
And it's like that I can appreciate because that's actually true.
Yep.
But it's just everything leading up to that, and then you find out that Luthor's the one pitting them up against each other because he just wants to see them fight because it would be one of the best gladiatorial matches in history. He he. Oh
It's
God.
just so weird. Like, how are they manipulated by this scrawny, church youth group leader? Like, how in the world?
Oh, I know. And then you have You have friggin' Bruce keeping it edgy, of
Oh,
course.
yeah, Edge man, Bad Edge. That's his name. What was the line in the trailer? I think it went to the degree of like son of a bitch brought them here, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're declaring war or something like that. Alfred says to him, and then he says in his, altered robotic voice, that son of a bitch brought the war to us. It's like, what war? The other aliens, they're kind of all dead and gone, or gone. What war?
I think he's in the wrong universe. He might be looking at the Chitauri and Thanos in the MCU. Maybe he's in the wrong universe.
The animosity between those two. And I know that in the movie they'll try to create a reason, and they already have tried to create a reason by holding Superman accountable for something Zod did
Yeah.
for some reason. And then the Wonder Woman cameo just comes out of nowhere at the end, though. It's
I have
like,
a feeling
I mean,
that's like how she's
it,
going to show up in the movie, like
oh
exactly.
no, she's going to show up as Diana in the
Yeah,
movie, though she'll probably be operating under an alias. I mean, you saw her in the
of
first trailer
course.
with Bruce Wayne at some kind of gala thing, but
But we're shocked, like as
but
Wonder Woman appearance, probably it's going to be something like that to that degree.
yeah, that'll probably be the only one.
Yeah, most likely.
And of course, you're they're. See, here's the thing: they're going to be counting on you seeing this character and being like, "Wow, I want to see more of them." Oh, hey, look, we have a movie for them coming out next year. It'll be like,
You thought Wonder Woman was badass in Batman v Superman? Check her out in her new solo movie, 75 Years in the Making, Wonder Woman, 2017.
yeah. And here's the thing: I know people are going to try to make the argument that that kind of thing was how it was done in comics, and that can work in comics. And that the comics have a bit of an excuse too. I mean, that's a lot more of a risky medium. You don't know how well a character's going to do. But these characters, they know they're established characters, and they know for a fact that they're going to sell well, they're going to play well. I could understand that for some of the more minor characters, like Aquaman.
Right.
I'm actually not caring about that because Aquaman has a bit of a reputation, and they want to, establish, hey, guess what? He's a bit of a badass, and we're going to make a film out of him. So you want to go see it now, or do you still think he's a joke? That kind of thing. That I get. I'm not going to lie. I get that. And maybe even Green Lantern because they're going to establish, hey, this Green Lantern isn't like the one you saw in the last movie that you hated. But someone as big as Wonder Woman and Batman, and no, you could have done a solo movie. The Flash, you could do a solo movie before you go trying to shove them in there. And one thing that really does irk me though is Martian Manhunter. A lot of people wanted to see him, and yet they're saying no. But you could have done that. But even then, even if you didn't know if they do well, I would respect you if you at least took the risk if it meant building them up properly. I mean, for crying out loud, look at Marvel and Ant-Man. I mean, they took a big risk there. Nobody had ever heard of Ant-Man, and I still don't necessarily even think he deserved his own movie, but he got it, and they took a big risk on it, and it did pretty well. Especially since they had to complete that in only a little over a year after Edgar Wright threw his fit and left. Try it, If it turns out to be your first flop, so be it. You'll more than make up for it with your next Batman movie.
Marvel has established this universe. This thing has been going on since 2008. It's been going on for 7 years, going on 8 with the new movie Civil War next year. These films have grossed, just ticket sales alone, over $4 billion. $4 billion. And it's not just the Avengers movies. It's solo films, new debut characters. And this isn't even counting merchandising sales associated with the MCU. This isn't counting, cartoons and comic crossovers. $4 billion off of all of these characters. And considering that we're going into the next phase with the new heroes being introduced, such as Black Panther, Doctor Strange, you guys know the whole shebang. It definitely shows that, oh yeah, DC can make $1.5 billion on Batman v Superman. But the fact that, I'm not saying it will, don't take us out of context, if the next Captain America movie makes anywhere close to Batman v Superman, I just gotta say, pack it up. Because in 2016, the fact that a Captain America movie can have the same worldwide impact as a Batman v Superman movie, that just shows how out of touch DC is and how with the culture Marvel is. I don't know if you agree with, but that's just me.
Mm. Well, honestly, I think it can have that same level of impact because a lot of people try to downplay it because it's a Captain America movie and Captain America's in the title and he's in the trailer and he doesn't do near as well, overseas as he does here at home, even though he actually did really well with his last movie overseas. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, you can see it in all the advertisements too. I mean, it's not just Captain America; it's Iron Man. Iron Man is very heavily featured in all this, and he does actually have almost more international appeal than domestic appeal. So, it does make sense that that would sell there. And you can see all the other characters are in it too. You can see Falcon is in it. You can see Black Widow in it. You can see Hawkeye in it. You can
You
see
forgot another character whose
Winter
name
Soldier in
starts
it.
with
You can see
black. You forgot another character whose name starts with
yeah.
black.
I'm getting down the list.
I'm just saying, bro. He should have taken priority.
You can see Black Panther is going to be in it, and that's going to draw some people. You can see Ant-Man in literally every scene in the trailer if you look close enough. You can,
I love how you cannot dispel anyone who says that because you just don't know. He could be there.
maybe he's the reason Tony's armor is acting up, and they're able to beat the crap out of him. Who knows?
So it's a 3-on-1 fight? That doesn't seem
It
fair.
could be. It doesn't seem fair, but hey,
Yeah.
he's wearing a killer suit of armor. What's fair about that? But
That's true. That's true.
But in fact, if it's the bleeding edge armor, which it looks like, it's actually one of his most OP suits of armor. So, take those risks, do that build up. People would then, have a lot of faith, a lot of confidence, and they would go see those movies, even if they are a bit of a risk. Guardians of the Galaxy, risk. Ant-Man, risk. And let's be honest, a solo movie of Aquaman is going to be a risk. But if you were to build into that properly, there you go. A solo movie of the Flash, even. Flash is getting more popular, but you have no way of knowing whether or not he's going to draw people into the box office. And so it is a little bit of a risk. But doing that solo movie, taking that risk, there you go. But if you were to, build everybody up properly going into that team up film, and some of the minor characters even you wouldn't necessarily need to give their own movies. And Marvel did kind of fudge it a little bit with Black Widow and Hawkeye, for example, but
Right.
they wound up making them likable enough, and then as time went by, we got more of their stories, individually, and they become popular enough that people actually want to see them have their own movie. But um, but getting back to this trailer, though, this is the part I don't get, and this is the part that really gets me. As badly botched as I think Luthor is, this almost makes me more angry. And that's what Luthor does when it becomes clear that Batman and Superman aren't going to kill each other off for him.
Oh boy.
And that's when they bring out Zod's body. And that's when you see the heart start beating and you see the electricity crackle. I mean, this is like something right out of Frankenstein here.
We
and then
got another Frankenstein movie in the works? My God.
and then you got the dramatic Superman cut. What have you done?
What have I done, Magneto voice?
And then boom, leaps right through the building and then lands far away, and you got a Ninja Turtle on meth. Friggin' abomination with, friggin' shingles. You got the lizard after he got drug across a gravel driveway. You got what's supposed to be Doomsday. And I say supposed to be because, I mean, a lot of people are trying to say it's Parasite. I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't see how it could be. And plus, I mean, you got the bone spurs sticking out of the shoulders and everything. You got the eyebrow ridge looks the same. The mouth looks pretty similar, except it doesn't have the bone jutting through the skin and everything. And I know that some people are saying, "Oh, watch, as the fight goes on, his bone spurs are going to pop out more and everything," and that could be. But the fact of the matter is, he still don't look like Doomsday. And the fact that he's being shoveled in at the last second, and not only is he, shoveled in, but he's Zod's corpse reanimated. I mean, this is almost as stupid to me as when Doomsday turned out to be that jerk or whatever from Clark's high school in Smallville.
Oh God! Imagine if Rob was in here, he'd go off.
I mean, this is so stupid. I just and you know that he's only going to show up in like the last 20 minutes or so. He's going to be like Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four movie. But the fact that that just Wonder Woman showing up is going to be enough to tip the balance. That the three of them are going to be able to beat a being that not only ripped through the entire Justice League, but forced Superman to the absolute brink. I mean, they killed each other. And I don't want to hear no technicalities either about how, oh, neither one was really dead. It's yeah, they were. When their heart stopped, they were dead. The fact that they restarted later is irrelevant. They were technically, legally dead. They killed each other. The fact that they recovered from it is another matter. I mean, that it was one of the most intense battles in history. You could have had a Justice League movie or a Batman movie or an event movie, even just, you know, Batman movie where he's got to watch Superman die or something and then go on from there leading the Justice League or, just something. A Superman movie where that's the end and then there's no more Superman movies for a while and then the return of Superman. You could have done so much with that. And I mean, I'm not even going to say that you could do like a Marvel thing and build an entire phase around him per se, but you could do such a big event movie with him.
That's what I was thinking. I personally believe that you can have him be the lead up villain towards the end of a DC phase. I think that would be really cool because of the ramifications that it could have on the DC universe. If you have a villain that beats down every single member of the Justice League, I think that'd be pretty crazy. But it comes down to I don't want to get into speculation on what they're going to do, but why do I get the feeling that the reason they're going to defeat this version of Doomsday, I guess, or Zod Reanimated Corpse, whatever, he's gonna end up coming back in like the Justice League or something as his true form or super powered or
Oh,
something
that could
convoluted.
be. That could be if only because Doomsday does have regenerative capabilities, but he also has genetic memory and he remembers how he was beaten in the past.
Right.
And when he regenerates, he compensates for it.
Yeah. So I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on in this trailer, and I love how we're 40 minutes over and we finally finished discussing the majority of it. Just a lot of things in this that I mean, like I said, I feel really good about being vindicated that all this stuff has come to fruition. And again, I want to make the distinction that we are not, actively campaigning against this. All this stuff is backed up with fact. Stuff that's in the trailers themselves. We're not misconstruing anything. We're not coming out here with a vendetta against the movie. I have the freaking limited edition Blu-ray of Man of Steel sitting on my shelf with the holographic cover. How many of y'all have that? How many of y'all have that with the Digibook? I want to know. We freaking loved Man of Steel, and we wanted to see where this universe would go. We were talking about this, and
Didn't we make a video on that, in fact?
we did. It was the preface to our first Batman v Superman discussion.
Hmm.
So we spent like a good majority of the first video talking about all the good things about it, and to be honest, I think we stick up for Man of Steel more than a lot of DC fans do.
Oh, definitely. I've had to defend that movie a lot.
Yeah, like a lot of DC fans will come out here and say, well, sure it wasn't the best DC Superman movie, but it opened up the doorway for the future of all things. And I'm just like, really? I mean, you just go back and check out the first video I did back in 2013 on when they first announced Batfleck. I was talking about Man of Steel extensively and why I liked it. But, in closing, like I said, it's probably going to be an entertaining movie. Like, obviously 98% of superhero movies are entertaining with a few exceptions. But like I said, it's not a freaking sprint. You don't need to go and do this. You can establish stuff, and I think everyone will be more happy for it. And this isn't just me being a whiny guy on the internet thinking I can dictate what a corporation can do. I mean, you get that a lot. Like, oh, are you in the boardroom? Are you making these decisions? They know what they're doing. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. I'm not in the boardroom. and I think that's a good thing because I can see without focusing on I want to get closer to a billion. I want to get closer to a billion. You can actually see how it works. That's one of the reasons why Marvel is doing so well. So I have nothing else to say on this movie. This is probably going to be one of the last trailers they release until the film comes out. It comes out in around 3.5 months. Danny, do you have anything else you want to say?
The thing that pains me is that here's the thing. I know that on a base level, I'm just not gonna like this movie. But here's why. I mean, even if it doesn't turn out to be a bad movie, even if it turns out to be a coherent movie, even if it turns out to be a decent movie, what kills it for me is that I just know that it could have been so much more. And especially with the Batman v Superman angle, if they had waited until you had established these two had a relationship and then done that, I mean, that's part of why Civil War is going to be as powerful as it is. All these characters have a relationship with each other, an established one, and yet they're being forced to fight each other. And the reason that the fight with Batman and Superman in the Dark Knight Returns, which is what they're taking a lot from with that, was so powerful was because they were two old friends who didn't always see eye to eye, and now all their disagreement, whether on their philosophies where they didn't see eye to eye, it was getting in the way of their friendship. It was all coming to a head, and they knew it, and that's what gave it the weight it had. Here, though, it's just a guy who doesn't even know him who's mad at him for something he thinks he's done. I mean, that's all the weight it has. The only reason it's going to have any kind of weight with the audience is because the audience knows, hey, that's Batman. Hey, that's Superman. Hey, they're in comics together a long time. Hey, they're supposed to be friends. Why are they fighting? But in universe, I just think it loses a lot of weight, and it really could have been so much more, you know?
Mm-hmm. There was a lot
And
going for it.
there was. And I mean, if it had been a Batman and Superman team up under any other capacity, maybe I probably wouldn't be bugged as much as I am. But it's just rushing specifically to this, taking away what gave that the power it had, and then on top of it, just kind of rushing to throw this universe together. It's just really kind of a downer.
Yeah. Well, Batman v Superman opens in theaters March 2016. I'm not sure if I'm going to be seeing the movie when it comes out. I probably won't, considering there's probably going to be other things I want to check out. So unless somebody sends me a free ticket, or maybe I should open up a Patreon account so I can go see Batman v Superman. Because y'all go pay for my IMAX 3D ticket. But Danny, thank you so much for joining me on this. You can find him down below on his YouTube channel if he's going to upload more videos, that is.
And I will eventually, but if I recall, you and I, sir, have a few things to get done as well.
Why do I have a feeling that we always end a video saying, yeah, we do got more stuff to do, which, you know what? I'm making a bold prediction. Before the end of the year, one of those videos has to get done.
Oh, at least.
At least one of those videos. Now, you guys can vote down below in the comment sections if you guys want to see the Dragon Ball Kai discussion, if you want to see the MCU bashing session, which we all agree we're going to do. And I don't know what the third one was. Oh, it was a video, I think, on the IDW greatness, right?
Yeah, IDW. I think we expanded Kai to basically Dragon Ball in general.
True, yeah.
Um, and yeah, the Marvel thing too.
Cool. So you guys can vote down below in the comment sections. Also comment if you made it all the way through, the 45 plus minutes. You guys are the real MVPs. I will give y'all a like on your photos on Instagram. Just post your account down below and I'll like all your photos. Because that's... I'm going to do that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm NGS signing off for DannyDsWorld. And we will catch y'all later.
Adios.